So hello, good morning. I've had about 4 hours sleep last night, and even still, I'm gonna stay in the moment, not pick up a drink or a drug. I'm gonna read from Living Clean, and this chapter is called The Lifelong Practice of Surrender. Our understanding of surrender may change over time, but our need for it does not. In the beginning, surrender might just be about not using drugs. As time goes by, we start to see other ways our addiction plays out in our lives. We become willing to surrender other behaviours, sometimes one by one. We come to understand that using whatever we are using is just a symptom of our problem, which is spiritual in nature. Gradually we start to let go of the things that drive us to act out: denial, anger, resentment, the need to be right, the feelings of superiority or inferiority, shame, remorse and fear. As our understanding of the first step grows, we surrender more deeply, our trust grows, and we become a little more willing to let go. We can see more areas of our lives where we still cling to the illusion of control. Surrender really looks appealing in the beginning, but it takes us progressively less time to notice when what we are doing isn't working. At first we may let go only when we are beaten, but our tolerance for pain diminishes as we recover. We are less willing to go along with things that wound our spirit. As we have more experience with the hope and healing that follows, we can recognize surrender as a way we put our feet back on the ground. The shift from thinking that we surrendered to our disease to realizing that we can surrender to our recovery is a spiritual awakening in itself. Changing our perception is like seeing the world through a different pair of glasses. Surrender is a shift in perception. We are no longer looking for an angle at which we can take control. Honesty can shift our perception. It opens us to the truth. We concern ourselves less with what other people might think of us and find instead that we are answerable to our own morals and values. We begin to see more clearly what it might mean to live according to the will of our higher power. Each time we surrender, our world opens up a little more. We can see past our obsession and accept the possibility of a change in our perception. We might take a deep breath and ask ourselves what would happen if we just let go. Our faith grows through our experience and gives us the opportunity to see our lives from a different perspective. As we gain experience, we don't feel as much like we have to go out on a limb to act on our beliefs. We begin to trust that the result of letting go will not be a calamity. A series of spiritual awakenings add up to a steady faith. Fear is a natural feeling. The question is what we do with it. Step 3 and 11 allow us to invite a loving higher power into our decisions, and step 10 helps us to check ourselves as we go. We are often the last ones to see or acknowledge our own growth. When we see other members recovering and their lives improving, we are reminded that the same is happening for us. As our awareness deepens, we continue to find areas of our lives that need work. As we change, we adjust, and as we adjust, our balance shifts and we change some more. Feeling like we know it all is often followed by the feeling that we know nothing. It's a nice feeling for the moment that it lasts, and then we get to learn more about surrender. We learn not to take ourselves too seriously at the end of the road. Nothing was funny anymore, but as we let go of worry, shame, anger and confusion, we start to relax. One of the gifts of recovery is regaining our sense of humour. It comes and goes, of course, but when we lose our sense of humour, it's a pretty good sign that we could benefit from a change in perspective. A member shared about a woman in her home group whose laugh would fill the room. Her laughter gave me hope. It had so much love and self-acceptance in it. You could hear the joy. We can laugh because things are meaningful, or because we know that it's going to be okay. We can see the magic and the irony in our lives and enjoy it. Lightening up is a necessary step on the way to enlightenment. The humour we find in one another's stories is one way we know we are in the right place. What's funny to us tends to change as we grow. We are less amused by the suffering of others and more able to see the lighter side of heavy situations. Excellent, that's the reading today. That's Living Clean. It's just reminding me of what a difficult process recovery is. It is difficult, but it's worth it. So remember, just for today, do not pick up no matter what. I've done the reading for you. And just get through the day clean. Get your head on the pillow tonight, clean. And that's a day one. Thank you for listening.